Got to be a little chomping at the bit to get this thing going for real.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been hitting each other. We've been going against each other. We had a good test last week against the Minnesota front. That was, I got some pretty good players. So we're ready to go do the real thing. But obviously, there's a lot that is going to happen in these next 4 or 5 days. A lot of, jobs are on the line. Guys are going out there. So we got to support those guys and give them any guidance we can, and cheer those guys on, because this is a big moment for a lot of guys' careers.
What do you do in that regard when a young guy trying to make the NFL gets cut? How do you interact with that player that's worked so hard?
As a veteran, it's just be there for those guys. I always give them my number. I say, you guys ever need anything, you have any questions, just let me know. We all know that this business is not for long. That's what NFL stands for, not for long. And I tell guys all the time, I said, you got to always have a plan B. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Kyler Murray. You need to have a plan B, because you never know what's going to happen in this league. And so that's why I always try to harp on guys. And NFLPA does a great job of helping guys transition it out. And that's the scariest thing for a football player, what's next. And I think we have to do a better job of helping those guys transition and find the thing that's right for them once they're done playing. You guys don't want to talk about what's next for NFL players. You just want to talk about what's coming up with the opponent. No one's worried about the mental health of our guys. We got Rob Gronkowski crying on ESPN. I mean, you guys don't want to talk about that.
Are you worried about the mental health of guys out there?
I don't think it's the mental health of guys. I think it's just the wear and tear. You look at Luck and what he went through. Obviously, he was in some pain, and it wasn't just physical pain. You could see it was emotional. And Rob Gronkowski was the same way. Like, it hurts to see the superstars of this game are coming forward and they're saying the joy is being taken out of the game for them. That's sad to see as a player, because I have a lot of fun in here. I mean, you guys have seen me just running around having a good time. It's a fun game, and it's tough when you see a guy is at a point where he can't have fun playing this game. He has to walk away from it.
You know how tough it is to play in this league, and your perspective on all the injuries and playing through it and the rehab and everything. You've been through that.
Yeah, the past 2 years going through the IR process, and it's not fun. I mean, you're by yourself a lot of days. You're in here, and these guys are going to work. You're trying to stay out of the way. You don't want to be a burden on the team when you go in and you're on IR. So I definitely see how hard it is for those guys, and to feel like the injuries just aren't healing, or as soon as you get back, you have something else hit. It definitely wears on you. It's huge. I mean, the mental side of NFL has been ignored for so long, and I bet you if you go out on the Twitter world, and you're going to see all these guys saying Andrew Luck's soft or Andrew Luck's this and that. Oh, those same guys have their friends killing themselves right now. Like, guys in the NFL, instead of dealing with these issues, are killing themselves. So we obviously have to have a conversation about it, because if we can't be forward, then those things are going to continue to happen. So I think it's great for young players to be able to have these conversations and see that there's more to this game. Like, that you have to be able to have it.
Justin, on your stints in the ER, did you ever think, I just don't want to do this anymore, this is not fun? Did that thought ever cross your mind?
There was times when I was like, my back wasn't getting better, and I was like, am I ever going to be able to live a normal life? I wasn't even worried about football. I was worried about living a normal life. And that definitely has crossed everyone's mind. I know Andrew Luck, he said it. But there's something in this locker room. There's something special about being around these guys that I always come back. I love playing football. I love playing this game. I love the camaraderie of the game. That's probably the thing I love most about it, and competing. And it always brings you back.
Will players be more empowered now, you think, to walk away into the prime of their career because of watching what Andrew did?
I think so many guys have done it through the years. Not so many guys, I shouldn't say. It's always an anomaly. You have the Barry Sanders, the Calvin Johnsons that walked away. I remember there was a linebacker in San Fran who, as a rookie, was all rookie or all pro or something like that, and then just walked away. This game's not for everyone. It is not for everyone. You're going to see there's going to be 50 guys lose their job just on this team on Friday. And people, it's crazy. My one buddy was talking about someone was getting laid off at work, and I was like, imagine if, like, in the real world, on one day a year, 50 guys in the office, or 50 women get fired. I mean, that is a crazy thing to think about. And it just shows that this is a business at the end of the day, and we have to make sure we're aware of that, and we help each other out as much as we can.
As the last week with Luck and Gronkowski made you think about how, as a current player, you can maybe be more open or help guys and maybe be more conscious of that?
I think definitely being able to help guys and have those tough conversations, and I think it's always to figure out what you want to do next. I think that's the thing a lot of guys struggle with when they get done. They lose their identity as a player. They've always been told where to be, when to be there, what to do. So I think it's huge for guys to go out and explore what else is out there and what else gives you you have a passion for, because at the end of the day, football ends for all of us. There's no one that is still playing. Maybe Tom Brady, Tom versus time, but At the end of the day, he's still going to live the bulk of his life not playing football. So you got to figure out what comes next.
Looks like Conrad has been varsity practice today.
He has. He's had a limited role, but he's moved around well, and we're hopeful that he can continue to progress. And I'm not sure if it'll be week 1, but hopefully in the not too distant future, he'll be out there going full speed.
What do you need to see out of him to make sure he's
We just want to make sure he's comfortable and he's healthy, and obviously don't want to put him in any situation where he doesn't feel 100% confident that he can play it at a really high level, and that's what we're working through right now.
But in a perfect world, what do you want this offense to characterize as? What's the brand or the trait you're most looking for?
Yeah, I just want to win. Just find ways to win. I think that's what we're all, at the end of the day, as an offense, if it takes 7 points or 50, find a way to win. And I think if you do that as an offense, then obviously you're doing your job.
You've talked a ton about the scouting, but I guess at the core of it, why do you guys choose to do that and not just for playing?
There's some real positives to it when you're talking about being able to carry the same snap count at home and on the road. I think that's the biggest thing, the consistency of it, using one snap count pretty much full time.
But how would you describe this week? It's got to be a little difficult. You got a preseason game that really all starters aren't going to play. You're just trying to get healthy. Cut down days, not quite here yet. So you got a lot of guys that aren't going to be here. Season opener still almost 2 weeks away. Is it kind of a difficult week and an odd week, if you will, almost for the organization, for the team?
I think the difficulty lies in what is going to go on Friday when you have to make a lot of those cuts, and you build relationships with all these players that are here for 6 months, and so for me, going first time through it, I was one of those players. I got released a bunch of times, and so that to me is the tough part. And these games, they matter. A lot of these guys, it's NFL football, and they get to go out there and represent their high schools and colleges and families, and so we try to not take light of that.
You try to help guys as much as you can. When you cut them, try to help them.
No question. I think that's just being around Steve enough to know like he's a good man at the heart of everything, and he wants people to be successful, wants to help people. If it's not here, we hope that they can catch on somewhere else.
A lot of focus is on the waiver plan, obviously, because you guys don't know the next 24 hours how it's going to work. Some of these guys that didn't get practice.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big deal as well. There's some guys that we're close, and it's a numbers game, and we feel like they can play for us. It just may not fit at the time we need them, and so that's going to be a big part of this, is seeing who we can bring back and be in that role.
So how do you offset all the focus on the young quarterback in terms of just advice and making sure that he doesn't feel like he's got to carry this thing?
Yeah, the good thing about him is that's what he wants, he wouldn't want it any other way, I guess is the best way to put it. And so he embraces the challenge. He knows what comes with it, and he's excited to go out there and attack and be the best player he can be. But as far as my role in that, I try to make sure that when he's in the building that we're going to, make sure that it doesn't feel like life and death to him, and we're going to work our tails off to get better, but we're going to enjoy the process as well.
It's tough, we've been together now all the way since OTAs, and you kind of grow these friendships and get to know one another, and then all of a sudden the team is cut by 30% or whatever it is. It's always tough, guys working extremely hard, competing against one another, and you always want to do well, but not necessarily at the expense of somebody else. So it's always tough. I just try to stay positive about everything. And if this opportunity is over, hopefully another one will open for everybody. So everybody goes into it with their eyes wide open. They know what the business is, and you get reminded of that every day. So I think everybody will handle it the right way regardless of what happens, and keep the right mindset.
How much do you think you know about this defense right now, and how much is still an unknown, especially with some of the injuries you guys have suffered?
Well, I think it's definitely, the preseason, there's a lot of unknowns. I'd be lying if I said, regardless of how preseason goes, that what kind of team you have. And that's defensively, offensively, because we haven't really put a full game plan together and shown everything that we do and work on in practice and all those types of things. So I think Detroit is going to be the first real opportunity to get a full look at this Cardinals football team. Obviously, then you'll have a better understanding of, we'll play a full game and we'll know where we are, good or bad.
The D-line's been kind of one of those spots where there's been a lot of churn and stuff like that the past week or so. With new guys coming in, guys going out, is chemistry overrated, or is that something you can build in a couple weeks?
Well, I think I wouldn't say that it's overrated, but I think if everybody has the right mindset, everybody buys into what we're talking about from a group mindset, then it's easier to develop that chemistry. When guys are willing to kind of fall in line and fill their role as far as what the defense calls for, I think it's always easier. I think we have a good group of guys that understand that, you're just one of 11 out there, and we're all working together for a common goal, and that's always very helpful.